In this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips for working with wedding planners as a stationery designer. This can also apply to pretty much any other vendor, so definitely stay tuned no matter what your wedding business is. So let's dive in. Hi, I'm Laney. I'm a wedding invitation designer, and I love to teach other creative entrepreneurs how to run successful businesses. One of the main places that stationery designers get clients is from wedding planners, so I just wanted to give you 5 tips for how to work with wedding planners that are going to be more productive, get you more leads, more sales, and ultimately more money in your business. I've been in this business for almost a decade, and I actually started out as a wedding planner, so I have a little bit of insight to what wedding planners do want to see and don't want to see. If you join my membership stationery school, we also have a full course on this. It's going to talk about your sample kits and all kinds of other stuff, and some interviews with actual wedding planners you can watch where they talk about things that they love when stationery designers do and things that they hate when stationery designers do. So 5 little tips. The first one is the most important, and this is just don't treat them like a boss. This is a mindset shift that is so important. We often look at wedding planners as like, oh, thank you, goddess of clients. I'm so grateful for you for giving me these beautiful clients, and I'll do anything that you ask for and bend over backwards for you. And that is just not going to create a conducive, healthy working relationship. The planner is not your boss. So planners actually, here's a secret, planners actually need vendors to recommend to their clients, or they're not really doing their job, and they need a wide variety of vendors because they have a wide variety of clients. So you're actually in this as an equal partner to them. And the more that you can kind of get your head behind that, the better relationship you're going to have, because you're not going to be bending over backwards for them. You're not going to be creating like this boss employee relationship. You're just going to be saying, how can we work together to best serve this client? We are working on this situation together. We're coming at this problem together. I am grateful for the client, yes, but I also understand that you needed a good invitation designer like me. And so we're both grateful for each other. So you can get that mindset shift. You're going to have a totally different relationship with your planners, and they're going to feel that you're a little less thirsty than if you just think, oh my gosh, please give me clients. Planner, you're the master who's holding all the keys to all the clients, and I just need you to have mercy on me, whatever it is. So don't treat them like a boss. Another one is that you shouldn't reach out like blindly or send samples blindly. This is something that I did, and it was such a huge waste of money. I sent a bunch of sample kits to planners that I really, really wanted to work with, and I hadn't done a lot of research. I hadn't reached out to them. They had never heard my name or seen my name until they opened this sample kit. And let me tell you, all of those were a waste of money. Not one of them ended up working. So I also have sent a whole load of sample kits to planners that I already had a relationship with, and every single one of those ended up getting me an actual client for something that was in the sample kit. So don't reach out blindly, but first forge that relationship and make sure they know who you are. Ask them if you can send them samples and what types of samples that they want to receive. And that leads me to point 3, which is doing your research. So don't just reach out to the best wedding planners in the country, voted by the Knot. Don't reach out to someone you've heard of who's great. Reach out to people whose style, budget, type of client, overall vibe matches with yours. So if you are a planner who does super high-end, formal, black and white weddings, you're probably not going to vibe with me so much, because my wedding invitations are colorful, bright. They're not the highest end. They're somewhere kind of middle end. And I'm honest about that, and I accept that about myself. And while I can work with higher end clients, they're not what I have found to be my favorite clients. So that type of planner is probably not going to be the greatest fit for me, and I'm not going to be the greatest fit for them either. It's one thing if we forge a relationship and we like each other, but if that planner refers me to 5 of their clients, probably none of them are ever going to book me anyway. So what is the point of them wasting their time? What is the point of client wasting their time? What's the point of me creating proposals for them, having consults with them, etc., when it's just not a good fit? So do your research, understand the clients that they work with, the style, the budget. You can also ask them what all of these questions when you talk to them, and it'll help you send a better sample kit, pricing guide, etc., that will fit better with their couples. Okay, our fourth tip is to stay top of mind. This is probably the most important after you form that relationship. It's just continuing to make sure that they think of you. So reaching out to them on social media, sending them maybe a kind of an email newsletter once a quarter about what's going on with the invitations, sending them some new samples, or making sure, checking in to make sure you have enough samples. Have you had any styled shoots that you could use some help with? And then when you do send them samples, one of my favorite tricks is to include something that they will use that reminds them of you. So instead of just sending invitations, maybe grab their logo and print out some personal note cards that they can use, or print it, calligraphy their name on a mug that they might use or something, so that when they're using those things, they're thinking of you, and they're not only thinking of you when they pull out your samples to show a client, but they're thinking of you before that, because then they'll think, oh gosh, Laney, yeah, I have the perfect client for her. Or when a client comes to them and says, hey, do you have any invitation designers to recommend? They can say, oh yeah, I'm using this mug that Laney gave me. I'm going to recommend her. So definitely try to stay top of mind. And my number 5 tip for working with wedding planners is just to remember that they are your client at this point. Yes, when you start actually working with a physical client with them, that person becomes the client. But until that point, the wedding planner is your client. And if you're thinking about using them as a marketing strategy and influencer strategy, kind of to bring you those clients that they're working with, then all of a sudden you have to think of this planner as your client. So the things that are going to appeal to them are different than the things that are going to appeal to the couple that's actually getting married. So you can talk to them about how you can make their life easier, how you can make them look good to their couples, how you can serve their couples, yes, but serve their couples in a way that's actually serving them. One of my favorite things to do is just offer free shipping to planner clients. So I'm going to put on the invoice, comped shipping. I'm going to put the cost it probably would have been, and then I'm going to put the planner's name right there. And what this does is when the client sees this on the invoice and shipping was going to be $35 and it's comped because they're working with Sarah at Sarah Events Co., it makes Sarah Events Co. look good. And Sarah Events Co. is going to be really glad that I did that, because then their client is going to think, oh, I'm so glad I'm working with Sarah Events Co. because she got me this exclusive free shipping offer and saved me literally this $35. There's a perfect, here's exactly what you saved me for working with Sarah Events Co. So things like that, where you're no longer questioning, like, how can I appeal to the end client directly, but how can I appeal to the planner as my client in this moment, and what little things can I do for them to make their life easier? Okay, so as a reminder, these 5 tips are to not treat the planner as a boss. They are not your boss, and secret, the client is not your boss when they hire you either. Second, don't blindly reach out or send samples without forging a relationship first. Third, do research and only work with the planners that actually fit for your style, budget, client, etc. Fourth, stay top of mind as much as possible. And then fifth, just remember that this planner is now the client, even more so than that couple that's actually getting married. Thanks for watching this video. If you are interested in becoming a stationery designer, definitely check out our membership, Stationery School. I'll link in the description for you. And we talk about stuff like this at least twice a month with other industry experts and myself and other members of the Stationery School community. So I hope you'll take a look at it and enjoy some of our other videos about stationery design while you're here.